Right, guys, Backyard Bill Productions once again. Today I'm going to be replacing my garbage disposal. It's leaking. There's a crack right here. I'm not sure whether that's what's causing the problem. It broke. It vibrates a lot, I guess. I have gotten a replacement one from the Lowe's store. I hope it don't matter I used their name, but I did. Here's the replacement one. It's called a Badger 100. It's the cheapest one. We don't throw anything major down our disposal anyway. It's just little breadcrumbs and chunks and stuff off your plates. Anyway, comes with a little Allen wrench here and some screws and adapter to hold it on. The drain part itself comes with the big sink adapter. It also gives you a little plug here with it. I'm not going to be using this. It already has one on there. All I'm going to be doing is this ring here. You take and twist it on, twist it off. So what I'll be doing is I'll be replacing just this portion. I won't be putting this in the sink. What this does here is then it tells you, you remove these 3 screws right here, which is on the underside here. It has the same setup. You remove these screws, though after you turn and twist this off, bring it down. It has these 3 screws, take that, and then you'll have to untwist your nut up here, and it pulls apart into 2 separate pieces here. This inside piece will come out. I'm not going to show you that. It's pretty easy, self-explanatory. Just remove these screws and it disconnects this piece and this piece. It loosens it up to where you can remove it. Alright, anyway, I'm going to be just replacing it here real quick. First thing that you want to do is make sure there's no power going to your outlet. Now what I've done here is I've plugged my phones and stuff into this outlet, which is in the same circuit, or whatever. Anyhow, what you do is you come in here to your box. I've already done it, and I found the circuit breaker that turns off my power to it, so I don't have any power going to it. Shush, little missy. It's Phantom, motorcycle riding kitty. Okay, I've got this little setup here. It's going to use both cameras to video, tape everything, but I'm not so sure I'm going to use this setup. I'm just going to go ahead and do it with my Google Glass because it's right here on my head and I can have fun with that. I need all the room I can get. Alrighty then. Now if I don't look directly at something, it's because these are bifocal lenses and on my glass is connected to a prescription set, so I have to read directions or look really close. I have to tilt my head back and you probably won't see the video. This is getting jumpy already. Okay, well, the first thing I need to do is to get this unit off of here. I have enough cord here. I've taken it loose from all the stuff that it was bound up to. I'm going to just go ahead and pull it down off of here, turn it over, and disconnect the power, and we'll go from there. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to get these lines off of here. This one has a clamp on it, really easy to get off. And I have a bucket here underneath because I needed it. I am mostly just quarter-inch ratchet sets and a regular standard little small or medium-sized screwdriver and standard and. Okay, let's just pull it right off of here, and boy, that looks nasty in there. Show you how it's going to look here, folks. And it's probably going to stink all to get out too, because this line right here that I'm taking off goes to my, woo, it does stink, goes to my dishwasher, and so it has a little bit of gunk in there. Whew. Oh wow. Okay, well, I'm going to let that drain for a second. I'm going to open the window. Alrighty. Next step will be to remove Now you need to stay out of my way, kitty. Move these 2 bolts right here. Boy, it smells like somebody took a dump. Man, I wasn't expecting that. Anyhow, This I can either use a screwdriver or a setup here. I got a, oh, it's a 5/16 or bigger than that. It's bigger than a 5/16. So we'll go with the next size up from that. 3/8. And it is a 3/8. There's my little metric and standard. Woo-wee! I never expected that. Oh. Alrighty then. Boy, howdy. I wonder if I should attempt to take that. What are we doing here? Ends are in the way. My goodness. Okay, folks, well, you're going to want to have a fan handy. I just dumped it in that crappy old water. Oh, this is killing me. My goodness. I don't think baby shit smells as bad. And since the power from these two both go on the same circuit, I can't turn my dishwasher on and drain it into that bucket. Alright, this is glued on here with some putty. If I don't have any putty, guess what I gotta do? Purchase some. Alrighty. The one that I have, the replacement, actually comes with a rubber gasket. And there's the rubber gasket there, huh? Push it away a little bit. Slide the rubber gasket off. And don't look like it's going to slide off. So, my goodness. I guess you don't know what happens until you do it. I'm going to get a rag and wrap around that. Or a small container. Let it. Trying to figure out how I can get it out of my way here. Nope, this is definitely broke. Oh, there. Guess what? It's all jerky. Let me move my hand a couple times. Yeah, the video's getting jerky at 7 minutes. Might have to turn this off and give you an idea. I'm going to go ahead and get something to wrap around their plastic bag to quench the smell a little bit until I get ready to install it back on there. So I'm going to shut the video off and I'll edit it back into the next step. Alright guys, I'm back. I wrapped plastic bag around this thing so I could stand the stench. I'm going to have to clean that out. I was going to pull the unit out and replace the line, but yeah, that's a little beyond me at the moment. Okay, we have it all off here, all disconnected. Line here. Poopy head. What did I do with my bag? Still got this crappy smell. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this line here. I know it's another joint. If you loosen joints, there's something likely to leak. But when I pulled this back and looked inside here, I got the awfulest look of crud. So I'm going to clean this out. And you wouldn't believe how heavy this is. Look at that. Good golly, Miss Molly. Nasty in there. So what I'm going to probably do, I got some connectors I can probably fix. Hard saying what my lines look like. I might go ahead and take this all apart and just do a different video on cleaning too. There's a lot of sludge in here. I'm probably going to have to take outside and use a big old long piece of something or other to clean it all up with. That trap is probably so full of stuff that it's unbelievable. So I might just go ahead and stop this video. I mean, I'll go ahead and remove this to show you how to do it. And then, of course, you know that you replace this line and then put this back on. But I'm going to go ahead and clean out my trap and everything today too, Okay, so take a look at this little unit that we have up here real quick. If you'll notice, on the garbage disposal, there are some rings sitting in the floor here. Oh, this is heavy. On this garbage disposal, there are some rings here. This whole top part, it has a little tab here, and a tab here. And what happens is you turn this on and you lock it into place. So, with, of course, the lines facing in the correct direction. So what I'm going to do is have a Phillips screwdriver. It has a rounded tip on it, and I will stick that Phillips screwdriver right in there, and then I'll unlock or lock it, and it will drop down. So I've got to have hold of the bottom here while I break loose the lock up top. I don't know if this is clockwise or counterclockwise. It looks like it's locked in right there. And it's probably going to be monstrously heavy, knowing my luck. And it was pretty easy. And then it should just drop down. And it did. Alright, now, before we do anything here, what I'm going to want to do is drag my bucket out and turn this upside down, just in case we have water inside. Yeah, looky there, just a little bit. Not a whole lot. What our problem is here is that the unit somehow is leaking inside. So what we got to do here, we'll take a look and look up a little bit here. Alright, we have small Phillips screwdrivers to lock this in place here. Probably going to want to, this is going to allow me to pull the wire. This is actually, it tightens the wire here. Let me zoom in here. It tightens against this wire here and holds it from moving up or down. So I'm going to be putting it on the other unit if it doesn't have one already. I'll be removing it out of here. This actually will screw off. Alright, usually it doesn't come off all the way. Those screws aren't designed to do that. See how it got loose now? Now you can just move the wires around. Now we'll do this unit right here to get to the wires themselves. And guess what I didn't have with me in my hands? My meter. So that I can test and see if there's any power. And here's, now before you can test for power, you got to get them out here where you can get to them. And be careful not touching any bare wire ends or pulling it against an end, because if it does have power and you didn't get your power shut off like you think, you will get the crap shocked out of you. Alright, each unit has, most often in the house, has a black, it has a white, and it has a ground wire. If you can see, the ground wire is right here, and it fastens to a green screw on the sidewall of the unit. Now before I do anything, I'm going to go get my meter so that I can, when I remove these caps, I'll see if there's power on it. And I believe that in the house circuits, the black is your hot wire, the white is your neutral or carrying, because you go from one side of a switch to the other with the white, and then your ground is the ground, of course, grounding the system. Now let me go get my meter real quick so that I don't fry myself. And I keep it in my back here somewhere, usually whenever I'm working on. Gee, y'all are going to be able to see the inside of my garage and everything in every video I do. I run around the house because I don't keep everything where I need it. Alrighty then. We will put it on 200. And we will remove the caps. Ooh, just popped loose, didn't it? Well, guess what? We'll get to see here whether it's hot or not. Nothing there. White to black, nothing. Black to ground, nothing. Light to ground, nothing. So we have no power going through these wires here coming in from the outside. So we should be good to go. But like anything else, you want to really be careful, because it's the one that you don't think about that gets you every time. Alright. Out of the way they go. And those are the hot ones coming into the unit. What I got to do is get this ground out of here. Now, depending on the contractor that did this job to this place, is how tough it usually is to get things loose or out. Bend up my unit. There we go. There's our wiring. Oh, look, no sparks, no nothing, so we must be good to go. Alright, I'll spread those apart just in case anyway. Okay, our unit's done. We're done with the old unit. We'll set it off to the side somewhere. And since I'm in the floor, I'll set it there. Here's our new unit. And it has a rubber cap on the top here that you can take and change out if you ever have it leaking. I'm not going to opt to put any sealant on mine, I don't think. I might put some bathtub caulk on the ends when I get done. And, oh, here, it's all bent up. Oh, joy. Remember what I mentioned about getting this thing off here? I said I would change it out. Well, it screws. Looky there, see that? And it's off. Of course, I got to remove the. Now, see, look at this. They left the cardboard on this other one, so I think I'll do the same. Why? I don't know. If it had a ground, I guess to keep it from grounding out. Looks like the same setup to me. And it is. White, black ground. And hopefully we can get all those wires in here and tuck everything and cram them all back in. Looky there. Alright, let's have some fun. I'm sorry, folks. I am using my bifocal part of my glasses again. Alright. Now, these wires are pretty heavy gauge. And I'm losing control of my ground wire. Hold on. What I think I'll do here is I will shape them in a U, and then I'll bend the wire, tilt the unit, so that it will be easier to grab my wires once I get them inside. And there we go. And that's why I have pliers that I don't have in my hands. Alright, in we go. Up we go. Making sure that we get the yellow portion of the protective coating down inside your ring. I don't even know what the rings are called on these electrical boxes. I guess you would call it the capture ring or support ring or what have you. And here we go. In this day and age, when there's battery powered screwdrivers, I guess it would be really cool to have one of those, huh? Going on 11 minutes and my Google Glass is not too hot. I was going to try to do a whole 20-minute video before, and then do another 20-minute video and tie the two together via an editing program. Right now I'm just using the Windows 8.1 on my machine. Comes with Windows Movie Maker, Microsoft Windows Movie Maker. And it seems to be working okay. Alrighty, she's tight. And now we got our ground wire that we need to I'm going to make it bend here. I'm going to put a little small bend in it so it'll make it really easy for me to... Why don't I put it up there where I can see it, huh? Put a small bend in the wire here so it can go around the grounding screw. And this way I can... Sorry, I gotta look up a little bit so I can see my bifocals. Alrighty then. Okay. Now for you guys that can see, I'm holding the ground wire on there. And I'm going to go through the rounded part of my wires. I'm holding the ground screw down. And I'm just not getting it under there and getting the screw down. Sorry guys, again with the... Alright, and there we have the ground wire connected to the little green screw. And then what we'll do here, since the caps, we'll do with the other cap. There it is. Caps are funnel shaped inside, so the farther you screw down, the tighter those wires get. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wrap it around clockwise to get it started so that the wires will stay together. Keep pressure up on the wires as a pair, and screw the cap down on top of them tightly, tight as I can go. Try to pull the wire out. The wires aren't separating. You have one done. Stuff it in here. Stuff it down there. Second one, same thing. Kind of start the black wire around, bend it around a little bit. It kind of gets the shape of going around. Hold them up level to each other. Put your cap on. Squeeze the wires together and twist. Now you can feel the cap actually screwing down. And pull on the wire, make sure it's tight. It is tight. Bend your thing down, push it in, shove it down past the... And there you go. And then we'll fasten our cap back down on top. Once again, forgetting where I put my tools at. I always throw them to my side, I don't know why. Put your screw back on. Alright, I'm foreseeing that this is going to be a tricky attachment here. I'm holding the unit up and trying to twist the lock ring in. There's a lip right here. You can see it right here. There's 3 of them. So I'm going to get this locking tab right here, put it on that lip, and then I'll twist it. Or will I? I'm going to guess it's going to be a different size. You have to get them up there to turn them. Okay, I got them started. Where's my Phillips screwdriver? Down by my side as always. Now get your unit pointed towards the where you want it to go. Now, I've got it just sitting up here, and I'm going to be changing my. I got it loose too, so we'll see if it's going to drain correctly. Alright, I've got it facing flush against this side to face this pipe. And that's installed. I'd like to go ahead and turn it on for you guys to get all the noise, and you can see it's working and all. But I'm going to clean my pipes here. I'm not happy with the way the goop and gunk is in here. So I will be cleaning my pipes. Turn it sideways, sorry fellas. And well, gender specific, sorry. Bolts. But I'm really gonna clean my trap out here, I think. It really needs it. You can see how gunky the unit is right there, so doesn't look good at all. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and clean my pipes, and then I will come back, turn this thing on, and just explain to you that you remove all these twisty thingies here and separate the pipes and all the way up to your wall here. I'm going to clean this one out, I'm going to clean this one out, I'm going to clean this one out, and then put them all back together. And I'll put them back together loosely until I get it fastened to the disposal. We'll see that later. Right, I'm going to sign off for the moment and clean my pipes. Okay guys, finishing up here on the installation. Sorry, I cut back too far. I took everything off all the way up to the front here and all the way up to the top. Fairly easy, just disconnect your pieces and pull them all apart. Really nasty inside. I think I'll do both bathrooms one here pretty soon too because of it. They're pretty nasty. Okay, all I gotta do is put back on the stinky old washer pipe now. So drain my washer, and then I'll probably turn the washer on a little later this evening, and we'll drain it. Okay, instantly I'm going to put it right on there because I do not want to smell that stuff. And I want to make sure it's nothing in the way of it here. They're not, sorry, no tangles. Make sure it's coming that has a little bit of bow. You want it to come out of your washer and down. You don't want it to sit up high and constantly drain in. You want a little bit in there. It's always like a trap, and that's why it smells so gosh awful darn much. And we'll put the clamp back on here. I could have used a ratchet to do this, but it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You just want to make sure it's nice and snug. I want to rip it. Okay. Well, guess what? It's time to do. Close this bag so it doesn't. A little bit of water in there doesn't smell. It's leak check time. It's leak checking. Turn on the switch. Alrighty then. Let's go turn our plants in for the winter. Turn our circuit breaker back on here. Here we go. Get back on. Got our bucket. Got our flashlight. Let's do some watering. Ooh, sounds good. Sit back down here. Give it a little bit. What I will do, I think. Ooh, a little bright. Yeah, that's just a standard run, so the trap should have already filled up by now. And it has. I feel like I got hot water running. A good way to check is if it's cooler in the house, run hot water. That way you can tell this one's getting hot right here, so the water is actually draining out the drain. So the trap is filled. It's the hot out. Use cold water run. I opted for hot. A little bit crooked there, but it is sealed, so it's not draining. And of course, I can't feel any water here. So let's run it to the other side. You can see what it did to my cabinet there. See the discoloration? It got wet enough in there that it actually peeled the paint. So now I gotta get in there with the scraper and scrape that all off and repaint it. Okay guys, I'm not seeing any water drippage from anything here. Of course the video's turning sideways because I'm turning my head sideways. Looks to me like it's all sealing pretty good. Now I'm not looking behind it, but I'm not seeing anything wrong. Alright, let's get her kicked on for the first time in the world in its life. Well, since the factory anyway. I'll do it real quick on and off. And the pipe immediately warmed up. It's running the water through it. And we look like we're good to go here. Alright. Makes a little bit of noise, not much. Just about the same amount that the other one did. Alright, one more test will be to fill the sink up. And let the sink drain all at once. So what you want to do is you want to get a lot of water on one side and then pull the plug, let all that water go down while the water is running on the opposite sink to fill up the tube in between and see if the drain is going to be strong enough to take them both at the same time, or if it backs up into the top of your drain here, which tells you that your drain's pretty much clogged up. If it runs both at the same time, you're usually good to go. Like one little tool pouch. Yeah, they're coming handy. I have to clean this mess up down here now. Yeah, that really bothers me. I want to repaint in here. Reseal. I bought the house 8 years ago. And just now having to replace that. We have no leaks, no runs, no drips, no errors. Alright, what are we looking at up here? And she's about halfway full. So what I'll do, since I'm not doing no smelly work anymore, pull these off. Alright, here's what we do. We run the water on that side, pull the drain on this side, get down, look underneath. No drips. Look how fast that's going down. And we didn't back up over here. So that tells us that our drain is clear, sink's good to go. Sweet. Alright, ooh, wait a minute. See this drip? I caught it. So she's leaking in one of my joints here. What you do is you just find out where it's leaking from, which joint. It could be this one, it could be this one. And then you just, yep, it's this one right here. You either tighten it up or take it off, and so I just tighten it up. Another good way, if it's a white area down below, throw down a different colored animal. And there's a drip. See that? She's dripping over here. So I'm going to take this part of it off and straighten it, twist it, turn it, tighten it again, and work with that. Alright, cool. That's the end of the video there. Meat Finding 101 to boot. Alrighty. Next time, this is Backyard Bill signing off.